This is the Padua Podcast Network.
So now this starts to take on even greater significance. And how many other ways can I say it? Longevity is what we're after here. Skin cancer is very bad. Running a Fever, episode 173, Sunburn. Welcome to Running Fever. My name is Michael Davis. Wow, yeah, I do love my life. It's great to hear that, and great to hear that rocking opening theme. You know, it's I can't believe it's been 173 episodes. It's amazing. And I know when I first started out, I had no idea that I was going to be able to do this for as long as I have. And still going, no end in sight, plenty of ideas for future shows, and I want to thank you for listening out there in the 37 countries that make up the audience of Running a Fever. Y'all want to do another lap?
No.
You know, that being the case, I mean, it's really closing in. I can't believe how fast these episodes are kind of clicking off. We're closing in on episode 200, so I just want to give you a little tease about that. Episode 200 is going to be a day in the life, and where I'm going to take you through this routine that I've been talking so much about, developed over this course of 200 episodes. And I think it'll be interesting. Already started working on it, and I'm going to try to make that really good. And of course, it will be, unlike episode 100, this will be a YouTube video and also a podcast, of course, but you'll be able to go on YouTube and see how I get through my day. So look forward to that. And any input that you have on that, mail at runningafever.com. Actually, it may be too late. I don't think I'm that far ahead on episodes. So yeah, go ahead and send those in. So medical department. Medical department. I took a sick day this week because of sunburn. I don't know. I probably have taken a sick day because of sunburn. It's been a long time. Usually it's not that bad, but actually took a sick day. Did not even work from home one day this week, and then I spent the rest of the week indoors, working from home, trying to stay out of the rays of the sun. And still recovering from it. I felt some of that, stinging this morning as I was putting on the sunscreen, and that was the problem. A week ago, I did not put on any sunscreen at all and went out in the heat of the day for a full couple of hours. Now, I'm going to play a clip from that earlier episode that I recorded while I was walking. And I just realized I did not put on sunscreen today, even though I did the last time I came out. When it's cooler, I tend to forget that those ultraviolet rays are always there, ready to play havoc on my skin, go to battle. So I gotta have my war paint on. Yeah, so you see, I recognized immediately that I just forgotten. And the reason I forgot was, actually, like today's was relatively cool. I mean, part of it's because, it's 6:30 in the morning, but it's easy to think, well, if it's cool outside, then I'm not going to be sunburned. So that's what happened. And I neglected to apply sunscreen. On top of that, it was a day that I did a full 5-point screw 5-mile walk. And of course that lasts close to 2 hours, at least partially in the sun. But on top of that, I've been exposed to the sun several times in the prior week. The week before last, I'd been watering my lawn when the sun was up. I'd been mowing, and I'd taken a couple of walks. Like I said, this is a time of increased activity for me, and part of that is going out walking in the afternoon after work. Now, most of these times, I remembered sunscreen. I know that especially for me, the darker your skin, the more sort of protected you are from the sun, but I have very light skin, so I'm very susceptible to sunscreen, and this is very dangerous if I don't use sunscreen, so I know that I have to do it. But when it's not hot outside, I tend to forget sometimes, and that's what happened. But really, the sun takes a long time, I should say the earth takes a long time to tilt on its axis, right? It doesn't just go from day to day back and forth. So when it starts getting closer to the sun in this area, not in Australia, the fourth most populous of Running a Fever listeners country out there, but right now it's going into summer and the sun is getting closer to the earth. And that doesn't change if you have a cool day. It doesn't mean that the sun decided to back off. It's still there, and there's still those, and it's ultraviolet rays that you can't even see that cause the problem. So, usually I'm remembering sunscreen, but on that Sunday, it was cooler than usual. Helped me forget. And I had a pretty bad sunburn. I didn't even recognize it until Monday. A lot of times you don't recognize the damage. The symptoms don't appear until hours afterward. I could tell by the symptoms that it was pretty serious. I didn't have extreme symptoms, but here are the symptoms of severe sunburn according to the Mayo Clinic, which has become one of my favorite sources for medical information. Number 1, pinkness or redness. That's the pretty obvious one. Number 2, skin that feels warm or hot to the touch. Number 3, pain, tenderness, itching. Number 4, swelling. Number 5, small fluid-filled blisters which may break. Number 6, headache, fever, nausea, and fatigue if sunburn is severe. I had several of these. I had the redness, I had the warmth, and I had the pain. And the pain was kind of like a tingling sensation. So it wasn't really just sharp pain. It was just kind of discomfort, as I say. I think maybe I have a higher tolerance for pain or something. I don't know. But it just felt like kind of a tingling on my skin. I did a quick search on the internet because, like I said, it's been a while since I've had this serious of a sunburn. And I found a couple things that you could apply. It said that you really shouldn't use the cane products because they can be irritating to the skin. I decided not to do that. Aloe is good, and I got a product called Solar Cane that has the numbing ingredient and also has aloe. And I also, just to be safe, I bought some cortisol, which is supposed to help with itching and stuff like that and not irritate the skin. But I tried that, and the Solar Cane felt better. So that's the thing that I put on. And I also took Advil for inflammation, and I tried to stay hydrated, more than the usual amount of hydration. It's really more important, I guess, when you have a sunburn. It can be really serious, as you can tell from the symptoms. Nausea, fever, those are really damaging things unless it's the fever for health that you get from listening to Running a Fever. It can also have long-term detriments, and this is the thing that I'm really concerned about, is that it increases the risk of skin cancer over the long term. You wouldn't think that once you get that one exposure to the skin, well, your skin replaces itself. No, that can have a long-term effect. So now this starts to take on even greater, weightier importance and significance. And how many other ways can I say it? Longevity is what we're after here. Skin cancer is very bad. In addition to that, it can cause premature aging of the skin. So if you want to look like Jean Calment and be, younger looking than your children, then overexposure to the sun is not the way to get there. can cause premature aging of the skin. And we really don't want premature aging anywhere, because what we really mean is a deterioration in these bodily organs, one of which is skin. Now, some makeup products include sunscreen, and I think I'm definitely going to look into that for daily use in the long term. For now, I'm just using I was using an SPF 50 sunscreen, and I was in the grocery store because I ran out, and there was an SPF 60 sunscreen. And so that's what I have now. And I don't want to say I'm using it every day, but definitely when I go out for periods like I am today, anytime more than a few minutes, I'm going to put on sunscreen. On my shopping list now is to get some sunglasses. And you need to get sunglasses because I found out in the research for this that your eyes can get sunburned, which makes me wonder, does that put you at risk for cancer in your eye or something? But basically your eyes, if your eye feels gritty after being out in the sun, that can be a problem. Morning. And now I'm coming right into the sun, ironically wearing my headlamp still, because I don't want to put it in my pocket. But I've got sunscreen on today. Now this glasses thing is really a change for me, because I haven't worn sunglasses in years. And part of the reason is I keep losing them. I had a habit of just losing sunglasses. I used to really like those Wayfarers, the Ray-Ban Wayfarer glasses. And I'd buy a pair, and they were fairly expensive, and then I would lose them, and I would be out however much money that was. So I said, I can get by without sunglasses. But apparently, I need them, not just so I can see better, but to protect my eyes from sunburn. I wonder how many times I have experienced eye sunburn and not even realized it. Just thought my eye was irritated for some unknown reason. And now, I have more knowledge about that, so that's on my shopping list. According to the Mayo Clinic, I need sunglasses with UVA and UVB protection, and these good sunglasses actually have a UV protection rating on the package. So that's a good way to figure out if you're getting the right kind. Summer's here and the sun's getting closer to the earth, so take precautions to avoid short and long-term damage from overexposure to the sun. Thanks for listening. If you got the fever, keep it. If you don't have the fever, catch it. Catch the fever. I'll talk to you next time on Running a Fever.